Krishna 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 Rakshamam.
Krishna 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 Pahimam Jai.
Rama Raghav Rama Raghav Rama Raghav Rakshamam.
Archana.
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam.
Okay, very nice. Let's welcome Alex from Switzerland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Alex.
Okay, so Smita's here with her new book. The new book she's got from the Janmashtami festival.
No,
No? You ordered it online.
no.
Okay, you bought it at the a Big Ben curry shop.
No.
Oh, no, where did he get it from?
Okay, so I did get it from the manor. However, it was when it was Abhishek for Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Rani. I got it then.
Okay, all right. That was back in.
But
Oh,
from a devotee, and he
Yeah.
was standing in the reception, and
yeah.
I said, "How much are they?" And he said, "It's just a donation, whatever you want to give."
Well, fantastic.
I should have taken his name.
Well, that was very cheap for 50p, I can tell you now. They
Cheeky.
don't call me Kanjus Bhai for nothing. Okay, let's start with Jai then on this part.
Okay. Before this marriage of Satya and Krishna, there had been many competitive engagements with the pools of King Naganjit and many other princes of the Yadu dynasty and of other dynasties as well had tried to win the hand of Satya. When she, frustrated princes of the other dynasties, heard that Krishna was successful in getting the hand of Satya by subduing the bulls, naturally they became envious. While Krishna was traveling to Dwarka, all the frustrated and defeated princes encircled him and began to shower their arrows on the bridal party. When they attacked Krishna's party and shot arrows like incessant torrents of rain, Arjuna, the best friend of Krishna, took charge of the challenge, and he alone very easily drove them off to please his great friend Krishna on the occasion of his marriage. Arjuna immediately took up his bow, Gandiva, and chased away all the princes, exactly as a lion drives away all small animals simply by chasing them. Arjuna drove away all the princes without killing even one of them. After this, the chief of Yadu dynasty, Lord Krishna, along with his newly married wife and the huge dowry, entered the city of Dwarka with great pomp. Krishna then lived there with his wife very peacefully.
Very nice. So that he entered Dwarka, and of course, Krishna could have easily defeated all those princes himself, but he just allowed Arjuna to do it because Krishna likes to see his devotee get the glorification, to get the kirti, kirtita. Kirtita means the glory. Krishna enjoys it very much when the devotee is glorified. All right, Archana, carry on.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Besides Kunti Devi, Krishna had another paternal aunt. Her name was Shruti Kirti, and she was married and lived in Kekaya province. She had a daughter whose name was Bhadra. Bhadra wanted to marry Krishna, and her brother handed her over to him unconditionally. Krishna accepted her as his bona fide wife. Thereafter, Krishna married a daughter of the king of Madrasa province. Her name was Lakshmana, and she had all good qualities. She was also forcibly married by Krishna, who took her in the same way the Garuda snatched the jar of nectar from the hand of demigods. Krishna kidnapped this girl in the presence of many other princes in the assembly of the Swayamvar. The Swayamvar is ceremony in which the bride can select her own husband from an assembly of many princes.
Oh, very nice. Krishna here, he's showing his prowess as a very great Kshatriya. And of course, the Kshatriyas, it was honorable for them to kidnap their wife. Just, oh look, Namrata and Nikunjbai here, Hare Krishna. Just
Hare
like
Krishna.
Nikunjbai, when he was getting married, he kidnapped Namrata. He kidnapped her and took her away by force. Isn't that right, Prabhu?
Something like that.
Namrata was fighting him. No, but he said, yes, you will be my wife. And that was the end of it. And of course, anyone to be married by Krishna, Arjuna, any of these very famous great heroes, they would be delighted. The princess may say, oh, you shouldn't know, I don't want to get married. But in her heart, she'll be very happy that I'm getting such a wonderful husband as Krishna. Okay, go ahead, Smita, for the last part with your new book.
Prabhu, I can't hear much. So the description, is that where it is?
Yeah, the description of Krishna's marriage.
The description of Krishna's marriage with the 5 girls mentioned in this chapter is not sufficient. He had many other thousands of wives besides them. Krishna accepted the other 1,000 of wives after killing a demon named Bhumasura. All these thousands of girls were held captive in the palace of Bhumasura, and Krishna released them and married them. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 58th chapter of Krishna, 5 queens married by Krishna.
Okay, it's the 58th chapter in my book as well. Okay, Nikunjbai, you can start chapter 59.
Hare Krishna. The deliverance of the demon Bhaumasura. The story of Bhaumasura, how he kidnapped and made captive 16,000 princesses by collecting them from the palaces of various kings, and how he was killed by Krishna, the supreme lord of wonderful character, is all described by Sukadeva Goswami to the king Pariksit in Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, the demons are always against the demigods. This demon Bhaumasura, having become very powerful, took by force the umbrella from the throne of demigod Varuna. He also took the earrings of Aditya, the mother of the demigods. He conquered the portion of heavenly Mount Meru known as Mani Parvata and occupied it. The king of the heavenly planets Indra therefore came to Dwarka to complain about Bhaumasura before Lord Krishna.
All right, Namrata.
Hearing this complaint by Indra, the king of heaven, Lord Krishna, accompanied by his wife Satyabhama, immediately started for the abode of Bhaumasura. The 2 of the men rode on the back of Garuda, who flew them to Pragya Jyotisapura, Bhaumasura's capital city. To enter the city of Pragya Jyotisapura was not a very easy task because it was very well fortified. First of all, there were 4 strongholds guarding the 4 directions of the city, which was well protected on all sides by formidable military strength. The next boundary was a water canal all around the city, and in addition, the whole city was surrounded by electric wires. The next fortification was of anila, a gaseous substance. After this, there was a network of barbed wire constructed by a demon of the name Mura. The city appeared well protected even in terms of today's scientific advancements.
Oh, wow. So they had electrical wiring, they had gas, poisonous gas called anila, and they had barbed wire constructed by Mura, an asura. So very, very difficult to get into this city of what we call Pragjotishpura, which is the modern city of Guwahati in Assam. So if you've ever visited Guwahati, you'll see that it's surrounded by 7 hills, etc., etc. Okay, go ahead. Alex, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. When Krishna arrived, he broke all the strongholds to pieces by the strokes of his club and scattered them strength, here and there by the constant onslaught of his arrows. With his celebrated Sudarshana Chakra, he counteracted the electrified boundary and annihilated the canals of water, and the gaseous boundary, and the cut to pieces the electrified network fabricated by the demon Mura. By the vibration of his conch shell, he broke the hearts of the great fighters and also broke the fighting machines that were there. Similarly, he broke the walls around the city with his invincible club.
Okay, Krishna was carrying his gada, his club. Who can remember the name of Krishna's club? His gada. It begins with a K. Komodaki. K-A-U-M-A-D-A-K-I. Komodaki is the name of Krishna's gada. What's the name of Lord Krishna's bow? We've gone through this before. His bow begins with an S. Sharanga. Sharanga. Can we all repeat? Sharanga.
Sharanga.
Komodaki.
Saranga.
Komodaki. What's the name of his chakra?
Sudarshan.
Sudarshan. So when you're in difficulty in life, sometimes you're having trouble, maybe legal problems, maybe you have a neighbor from hell, maybe you have some other difficult, call on Krishna's weapons. Remember Sharanga. Call out Sharanga, Komodaki, Sudarshan. These are the weapons of Lord Krishna. The weapons of Krishna are also persons. They're personalities, and they will come and help you as well. Okay. Let's go back to Smita. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. The vibration of Lord Krishna's conch shell.
The vibration of Lord Krishna's conch shell sounded like a thunderbolt at the time of the dissolution of the whole cosmic manifestation. The demon Mura heard the vibration of the conch shell, awakened from his sleep, and came out to see what had happened. He had 5 heads and had long been living within the water. The Mura demon was as brilliant as the sun at the time of the dissolution of the cosmos, and his temper was like blazing fire. The effulgence of his body was so dazzling that he was difficult to see with open eyes. When he came out, he first took out his trident and rushed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demon Mura in his onslaught was like a big snake attacking Garuth. His angry mood was very severe, and he appeared ready to devour the 3 worlds. First of all, he attacked the carrier of Krishna, Garuth, by whirling and then throwing his trident, and through his 5 mouths he vibrated sounds like the roaring of a lion. These roaring vibrations spread all over the atmosphere until they extended all over the world and into outer space, up and down and out of the 10 directions, rumbling throughout the entire universe.
Okay, this is the Mura. Now, the Mura demon, this Asura, was protecting the city. And Krishna is known as a name connected with Mura. Who knows Krishna's name connected with Mura? What is enemy? What is enemy in Hindi? Shatru?
Dushman. Shatru.
And there's another name. Ari. Ari. So Mrigari means enemy of animals. And the enemy of Mura was the name?
Murari.
Murari. You've all heard the name Murari.
Yep.
Krishna Murari. Momo mono mondire raho nishidin. Krishna Murari Shi. Krishna Murari. So this is a bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Momo mono mondire raho nishidin. Krishna Murari. So this name for Krishna, remember now, this Krishna Murari is in relationship to the Mura demon. Okay, Archana, go ahead.
Thank you. Lord Krishna saw that the trident of the Mura demon was rushing toward his carrier, Garuda. Immediately, by a kick of his hand, he took 2 arrows and threw them toward the trident, cutting it to pieces. Stimulously using many arrows, he pierced the mouth of the demon Mura. When the Mura demon saw himself outmaneuvered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately began to strike the Lord in great anger with his club. But Lord Krishna, with his own club, broke the club of Mura to pieces before it could reach him. The demon, bereft of his weapon, decided to attack Krishna with his strong arm. But Krishna, with his aid of his Sudarshan Chakra, immediately separated in the demon's 5 heads from his body. The demon then fell into the water, just as the peak of mountain fall into the ocean after being struck by the thunderbolt of Indra.
Okay, so that's a fantastic fighting scene there, where this Mura demon was attacking Krishna with his gada, his club. But Krishna's Komodaki is completely spiritual and is of a different energy to the material nature. And because the spiritual energy is superior, he very easily smashed it to pieces. And then with his chakra, he cut off his 5 heads. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai.
Jai Shri Krishna. This is why we say it. Jai Shri Krishna, because he's always victorious. And anyone who's in Krishna's Pakshi is also victorious. Jayastu Panduputranam Yesham Pakshi Janardana. Okay, Jai, carry on, Prabhu.
This demon Mura had 7 sons, named Tamara, Antariksha, Sravana, Vibhavasu, Vasu, Nabaswan, and Aruna. All of them became puffed up and vengeful because of the death of their father. And to retaliate, they prepared in anger to fight with Krishna. They equipped themselves with the necessary weapons and situated Pita, another demon, to act as commander in the battle. By the order of Bhaumasura, all of them combinedly attacked Krishna.
Okay, Namrata, go ahead.
When they came before Lord Krishna, they began to shower him with many kinds of weapons like swords, clubs, lances, arrows, and tridents. But they did not know that the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unlimited and invincible. Krishna, with his arrows, cut all the weapons of the men of Bhaumasura into pieces like grains. Krishna then threw his weapons, and Bhaumasura's commander-in-chief, Pita, along with his assistants, fell down. Their military dress cut off, and their heads, legs, arms, and thighs were severed. All of them were sent to the superintendent of death, Yamraja.
Okay, so they were completely destroyed and killed by Krishna. So this is an interesting point. Usually, when someone is killed by the Lord, they immediately get moksha. They get the moksha. Now, what kind of mukti do they get?
Sayurjya Mukti.
Ah, give her a clap. Hooray. Someone remembered, finally.
We recently had one, that's why.
Right, very good. Sayuja. So they get the the mukti of merging into the Brahma Jyoti, into what we call Brahman. But here, in this case, all of them were sent to the superintendent of death, Yamaraj. So this is a different instance. So we can't take it for granted that just being killed by the Lord, we immediately attain mukti. Some people get mukti, some people have to still go to Yamaloka, to Yamasadan, and then Yamaraj, he will decide their fate according to their karmas. So sometimes we get Krishna Raksha, and other times we have to get Yamaraj's Raksha. Which Raksha do you prefer to have, Smita? Krishna Raksha or Yamaraj's Raksha?
Krishna's Raksha.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he can do whatever he likes with me.
Very nice. Okay. All right, then you carry on then at this point, Smita.
Bhumasura, who was also known as Narakasura, happened to be the son of the earth personified. When he saw that all his soldiers, commanders, and fighters had been killed on the battlefield by the strokes of the weapon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became exceedingly angry at the Lord. He then came out of the city with a great number of elephants who had all been born and brought up on the seashore. All of them were highly intoxicated. When they came out, they saw that Lord Krishna and his wife were beautifully situated high in outer space, just like a black cloud about the sun, glittering with the lights of electricity. The demon Bhumasura immediately released a weapon called Shatangni, by which he killed his hundreds of warriors with one stroke, and all his assistants simultaneously threw their respective weapons at the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna counteracted all these weapons by releasing his feathered arrows. The result of this fight was that all the soldiers and commanders of Bhumasura fell to the ground, their arms, legs, and heads separated from their trunks, and all their horses and elephants also fell with them. In this way, all the weapons released by Bhumasura were cut to pieces by the Lord's arrows.
Okay, well, look, Jigna has just arrived now. So, Jigna, we're on chapter 59, and we're about 6 paragraphs in, okay?
Hare Krishna. Okay.
All right, Alex, carry on.
Jai Shri Krishna. The Lord was fighting on the back of Garuda, who was helping him by striking the horses and elephants and his wings and scratching their heads with his nails and sharp beak. The elephants, feeling much pain from Garuda's attack on them, all dispersed from the battlefield. Bhumasura alone remained on the battlefield and engaged himself in fighting with Krishna. He saw that Krishna's carrier Garuda had caused great disturbance to his soldiers and elephants, and in great anger he struck Garuda with all his strength, which defied the strength of a thunderbolt. Fortunately, Garuda was not an ordinary bird and left the strokes given by Bhumasura just as a great elephant feels the impact of the garland of flowers.
Oh dear, that's very disappointing, isn't it? You give it your best shot, and someone feels like you've hit them with a bouquet of flowers. Very disappointing, that is. Go ahead, Jigna, if you found the point.
Yes. Bhumasura thus came to see that none of his tricks would act upon Krishna, and he became aware that all his attempts to kill Krishna would be frustrated. Yet he tried for the last time, taking a trident in his hand to strike him. Krishna was so dexterous that before Bhumasura could throw his trident, his head was cut off by the sharp Sudarshana chakra. His head, illuminated by earrings and a helmet, fell down on the battlefield. On the occasion of Bhumasura's being killed by Lord Krishna, All the demons' relatives screamed in disappointment, and the saintly persons glorified the chivalrous activities of the Lord. Taking this opportunity, the denizens of the heavenly planets showered flowers on the Lord.
Very good. Now, Bhaumasura, his head was cut off by the sharp Sudarshan chakra. And all the demons were disappointed and they were saying, boo, boo. Where does this name Boo come from? Well, Boo is for Bhaumasura. Boo, Boma, Boma. They were saying, boo, Boma. So we can see where Boo comes from now. I've always wondered where this boo is coming from. You know, when we boo someone, do they do it in India? Do they boo someone in boo, boo? Well, we have Bhaumasura here now. That's one theory.
I thought it was always boot.
Oh, it could be boot. Oh, it could be. Okay, Archana, go ahead with the next part. Oh, let's ask Nikunjbai to do the next one.
At this time, the earth personified appeared before Lord Krishna and greeted him with a Vaijandi flower garland. She then returned the dazzling earrings of Aditi, bedecked with jewels and gold. She also returned the umbrella of Varuna along with a valuable jewel, which she presented to Krishna. After this, the earth personified offered her prayers to Krishna, the Supreme Personality and Master of the world, who is always worshipped by exalted demigods. She fell down in her obeisances and in great devotion and ecstasy began to speak.
Okay, Archana, tell us what Bhumi says. Oh, there we are. Bhumi, Bhoma, Bhumi. There's a connection here. Go ahead.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who is always present with four symbols, namely his conch-shell, disc, lotus, and club, and who is the Lord of all demigods. Please accept my respectful obeisances unto you, my dear Lord. You are the super soul, and in order to satisfy the aspiration of your devotees, you descend to the earth in your various transcendental incarnations, which are just appropriate to the devotees' worshipful desire. Kindly accept my respectful obeisances.
Okay, Alex, go ahead.
My dear Lord, the lotus flower grows out of your navel, and you are always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Your eyes are always spread like the petals of the lotus flower, and therefore you are all pleasing to the eyes of others. Your soft and delicate lotus feet are always worshipped by your unalloyed devotees, and those lotus feet pacify their lotus-like hearts. I therefore repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Jai Shri Krishna.
So in that little prayer there, the word Padma Lochan, and Padmanabha and Padma Ark, all these names, Krishna's Padmanabhi. It says in Sanskrit there must be so many Padma coming here to describe the Lord. Very nice. Okay, Jai.
You possess all beauty, strength, fame, property, knowledge, and renunciation. You are the shelter of all six opulences. Although you are all-pervading, you have appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances. You are the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and the supreme cause of all causes. Only your Lordship is the reservoir of all knowledge. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Personally, you are unborn. Still, you are the father of the whole cosmic manifestation. You are the reservoir and shelter of all kinds of energies. The manifested appearance of this world is caused by you, and you are both the cause and the effect of this cosmic manifestation. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisance.
So we can see now that Bhumi is offering beautiful prayers, and each time she's ending her prayer with, please therefore accept my respectful obeisances. Oh, so this offering respectful obeisances is not only done by devotees. When we say to a devotee, we meet the Vaishnava and we say, "Dear Prabhu" or "Dear Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, my respectful even Bhumi now and the Devas, they're also constantly offering their respectful obeisances when they speak to the Lord and glorify Him. They're always offering respectful obeisance. So this is a very integral part of the Vedic culture and the culture of bhakti, is to constantly be offering our respects to each other. So the husband and wife, they can offer the respectful obeisances to one another as Vaishnavas. It's very healthy because husband and wife, sometimes they love each other and sometimes they argue with each other and fight. It's normal. In the marriage, there'll always be some fighting because they're so close to each other. There'll be some friction, then you apologize. And this is the nature of the world we live in. So this offering respectful obeisances is very important because we're devotees. We can also get upset with each other and say things or do something. Even though you get along well, sometimes you just get fed up of being with the same person. I remember I was with my partner, preaching partner, for many years, and we got on well. But sometimes, as if by magic, we would get upset with each other and have an argument in the car. And after we've had a good argument, we would say, what would we say, Smita? Please accept.
Please accept my humble obeisances.
So this offering respectful obeisances, it's a very, very good way to overcome the problems that we face in this world, because just like in the forest is very quiet, it's very peaceful. Suddenly the wind comes from nowhere, and then the trees, they rub against each other, or bamboo shoots, they can rub against, and then friction. What does friction cause? Begins with a H.
Heat.
Heat. And what does heat cause?
Fire.
Suddenly there's fire out of nowhere. What was all that about? What happened? Big fire. And then we have to put the fire out, and then the best way to put the fire out with our differences as devotees, living in close proximity with one another, is, what was it, Smita?
Please accept my humble obeisances.
Ding!
Prabhuji.
Yes, please forgive my kshama. Please, maaf kar do. Please forgive my offenses and please accept my humble obeisances. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Smita. Okay, Jigna, go with the next one.
My dear Lord, as for the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they are not independent of you. When there is a necessity of creating this cosmic manifestation, you create your passionate appearance of Brahma, and when you want to maintain this cosmic manifestation, you expand yourself as Lord Vishnu, the reservoir of all goodness. Similarly, you appear as Lord Shiva, master of the mode of ignorance, and thus dissolve the whole creation. You always maintain your transcendental position in spite of creating these three modes of material nature. You are never entangled in these modes of nature as the ordinary living entities are.
So this is a beautiful paragraph here where Bhumi is describing how the Lord appears as Brahma. But is Brahma Krishna? Is Brahma Krishna? No. How does the Lord appear as Brahma when Brahma isn't Krishna? Who can tell me? Who can answer this mystery, this rahasyam? Brahma isn't Krishna, he is a jiva. But here the Lord appears as Brahma in this world to create with the Rajagun.
He is Param Brahma.
He is clever answer. No. Come on, Archana. Come on, get the batteries out there. Jai. Jigna?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure if Ramesh Bhai was here, he would tell us. The answer is Alex. Alex knows. He's the dark horse there.
Hare Krishna. He can appear as anyone he wants to be, right? Because there's Krishna in Brahma. He's not
Okay, all right, that's not a bad idea. The answer is that we have a philosophy of achintya bheda bheda tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference. In other words, everything is Krishna.
Yeah.
Here, this world, this material energy is also Krishna. Everything is the Lord. Oh, look who's appeared. Ramesh Bhai is here. Ramesh Bhai is connecting on audio. Hare Krishna, Ramesh Bhai. So, Sarvakal Vidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. Everything is a transformation of Brahman. So, Brahman is different from Brahma. And Para Brahma is different from Brahman and Brahma. So Para Brahman is Krishna himself, the Para Brahman. Then there's Brahman. That is all the jivas, all the living entities. We're called Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Angsa Bhagavato Asmi Aham. Amsa Bhagavato Asmi Aham. I am the tiny particle of this Brahman. So we are all Brahman, and Para Brahman is Krishna. So when Krishna is known as Brahma, that means he is given the power to Brahma, the power to create. In the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there are prayers of Lord Brahma there for prayers for creative energy. You can look at it in the second canto. Who has a set of Srimad Bhagavatam? Who has a set? Smita. Namrata, you have a whole set in volumes, yeah? Jigna, you have a set?
Yes.
Yes, you have a set. Jai, you have a set there? Archana?
I have 2 volumes, I think. Not
You
whole
have 2
set.
volumes. You don't have a whole set.
No, I don't think so, no.
Why don't you have the set of Srimad Bhagavatam?
Because I just take it as they distributed, so I didn't take whole set. I took one by one with all different books, and Srimad Bhagavatam is one of them.
Oh, every Vaishnava must have at least the Srimad Bhagavatam in their home. What do you think of her, everyone? She doesn't have the whole set. Let's give her a big boo for Boma Sora. Boo, boo.
We start a kitty and buy her a
What I'll do is Bhadra Purnima coming up on the 10th of this month. And it said if you give someone a set of Srimad Bhagavatam on Bhadra Purnima, then you're guaranteed to go back to Godhead. So I'll send her a set down. Is that okay?
I'll buy one. Don't worry. I'll buy one from Temple.
No, I'll send you the set as a gift. It'll come in the post. You just send me your address. You just give me your address and postcode. What do you think, everyone? Does she deserve it for all those Bakris?
I think so, with all those buckets.
Bakri Ben, she deserves it. So you can write down on the thing here, on this chat here, your address and postcode, and don't put Bakri Ben, put your full name, and then I'll send you the set down for Bhadra Purnima. But don't open it until Bhadra Purnima. Is that okay? Then if I give it to you as a gift, I'll go back to Godhead and you'll stay here.
Not necessarily.
I
if
know.
she reads all of the Srimad Bhagavatam, then she'll go back to Godhead as well.
She'll go back first. The cooks always go back first. I always say that at the temple, the cooks go back to Godhead first. So write it down for me, please, and chat your address and your name, and then we'll send it down to you. It's a big box. It'll kill the postman. Actually, he'll go back to Godhead first. Okay, so Ramesh Bhai, you're here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Ramesh Bhai. So Brahmaji, he is a living entity, but Krishna can appear as Brahma. You see, Krishna can appear through us. He can appear like Prabhupada. Krishna talked through Prabhupada. Krishna wrote books through Prabhupada. Krishna uses the living entity for his purposes. So if the living entity is surrendered to him, when the living entity is fully surrendered, Krishna empowers the living entity to do miraculous things. So Brahma creates the whole planetary system. He creates the Manus, the Prajapatis, the Rishis, the Sapta Rishis, Narada, Kashyap. All these are coming from Brahma, and then Brahma, he's managing the daily on a daily basis. He's creating the lower planetary systems again, because at the night time there's a temporary dissolution of the lower planets during the night of Brahma. So Brahma's constantly creating, and he's always, so Krishna empowers him. He appears as Shiva. So when people say, oh, Shiva's God, I say, yes, of course. And when we say Shiva's Krishna, you see, the Shiva is a transformation of Vishnu. He's transformed through the contact with this material energy. So, but when in this philosophy, we don't understand the philosophy correctly, we'll become impersonalists. We say, yes, Brahma is Krishna, Shiva is Krishna, I am Krishna, you are Krishna. This is impersonal. And if you don't know the philosophy correctly by having a set of Srimad Bhagavatam, Archana, then you will be in very great confusion. So thankfully, we've got this 10th canto of Bhagavatam here in the Krishna book to help us understand these things. Okay, Ramesh Bhai, next paragraph, please.
I don't think he knows where we are. Maybe
Okay,
a bit later.
carry on, Jigna. You carry on and he'll catch up.
Okay, thank you. Actually, my lord, you are the material nature. You are the father of the universe, and you are eternal time, which has caused the combination of the elements of nature and the manifestation of the material creation. Still, you are always transcendental to all these material activities. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know that earth, water, fire, air, sky, the five sense objects, mind, the senses and their deities, egotism, and the total material energy, all these animate and inanimate in this phenomenal world, rest upon you. Since everything is produced of you, nothing can be separate from you. Yet, since you are transcendently situated, nothing material can be identified with your personality. Everything is therefore simultaneously one with you and different from you. And the philosophers who try to separate everything from you are certainly mistaken in their viewpoint.
There we are. This is called Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. This is the philosophy, the highest philosophy available within any sphere of philosophy is simultaneous oneness and difference. And it's Achintya. Achintya in Sanskrit means inconceivable. In other words, we cannot understand this through the mind or the intelligence. It can only be understood through revelation, which comes through being connected to the Sampradaya and Guru Parampara. The Guru Parampara system give divine intelligence to the living entity to understand inconceivable things. This is what it means to be connected to the Guru Parampara or to be in the Sampradaya. It's not possible to understand certain. Our mind is very mechanistic. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. You see, but in spiritual life, 1 and 1 is not 2. What is 1 and 1 in spiritual life?
11.
1 and 1. 1 and 1 is 1. What is 1 minus 1 in spiritual life?
1.
1. Because within infinity, you cannot count. There's no counting in the absolute world. There's no calculation. There's no calculus. It's beyond our infinity. How can we understand infinity? It's beyond our conception. So these things, to understand how Krishna is everything, yet he's different from everything, this requires divine intelligence, and that is what the Guru Parampara Sampradaya system allows us to receive. This is the mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, we'll never understand it by reading it or from an intellectual viewpoint. Our intellect is not possible to reach God. We cannot understand God with our mundane intellect, no matter how intelligent we are. Okay, sorry for ranting on about that, but that's a important point. Ramesh Bhai, carry on.
Prabhu, still I'm not.
Are you trying to understand? Are you trying to understand God through your intellect, sir?
Which page we are?
Ask Smita. Smita will tell you.
57 or
Chapter 59,
Page
which says page 518.
518 page.
oh, 518.
Yes.
No.
Depends
no,
which book you got, Ramesh Bhai.
Krishna.
Yeah,
Krishna.
depends which book you have.
535.
Oh, he's got the same one as Prakash. Jai, you tell him, Jai.
Page 529,
529.
529.
right, last paragraph.
Last
Okay.
paragraph, Chair.
Okay.
My dear Lord,
My dear
My
Lord.
dear Lord. Sorry, Hare Krishna. My dear Lord, may I inform you that this boy, whose name is Bhagadatta, he is the son of my son, Bahumasura. He has been very much affected by the ghostly situation created by the death of his father, and he has become very much confused and afraid. I have therefore brought him to surrender into your lotus feet. I request your lordship to give shelter to this boy and bless him with your lotus feet. I bring him to you so that he may be relieved of the reaction of all the sinful activity of his father.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. So here is Bhumi. Bhumi Devi is the earth planet, the goddess of the earth, and Bhaumasura is her son. Oh, the earth had a personal son, but he was asuric. So sometimes the devas, they can have children that are asuric. Also, sometimes devotees, they have children, and they don't turn out to become devotees. They become opposed to Krishna consciousness. This happens all the time. Sometimes you have children, they are very interested. Sometimes they're not interested. Sometimes they go against Krishna consciousness. It happens. So the next part now, after Lord Krishna had heard the prayers of Mother Earth, he immediately assured her of immunity from all fearful situations. He said to Bhagadat, "Don't be afraid." This is Krishna's voice now. "Don't be afraid." In a deep voice. Can we all have a deep voice, please, and say, "Don't be afraid"?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Come on, Ramesh Bhai, in a deep voice. Don't be afraid. come on, Nikunjba, you can say it in a deep rumbling tone.
Don't be afraid.
All right, very good. Jai.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, Archana.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, that's not bad. Smita, you can do it in rumbling tone.
You made me laugh. Don't be
Archana.
afraid.
Well, that was good. That was good. Archana, you haven't written your address out yet. You have to write your address here. Hey, come on, Namrata. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Jigna, come on.
Don't be afraid.
Hey, come on, lower than that. You got to go lower.
Don't be afraid.
Ramesh Bhai, can you say it low, in a low tone?
Don't be afraid.
Oh, now I'm afraid now. Okay, so Krishna says to the son of this Bhaumasura, Bhagadat, don't be afraid. Then he entered the palace of Bhaumasura, which was equipped with all kinds of opulences. In the palace of Bhaumasura, Lord Krishna saw 16,100 princesses who had been kidnapped and held captive there. That's a lot of princesses. That's a lot of saris. That's a lot of princesses. In the palace, he saw these princesses. When the princesses saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, enter the palace, they immediately became captivated by the beauty of the Lord and prayed for his causeless mercy. Within their minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband without hesitation. Each one of them prayed to Providence that Krishna might become her husband. Sincerely and seriously, they offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with an unalloyed devotional attitude. As the super soul in everyone's heart, Krishna could understand their uncontaminated desire, and he agreed to accept them as his wives. Thus he arranged for suitable garments and ornaments for them, and each of them, seated on a palanquin, was dispatched to Dwarka city. Krishna also collected unlimited wealth from the palace, a treasure of chariots, horses, jewels, and so on. He took from the palace 50 white elephants, each with 4 tusks, and all of them were dispatched to Dwarka. Okay, Alex, next part.
Hare Krishna. After this incident, Lord Krishna and Satyabhama entered Amaravati, the capital city of the heavenly planets, and they immediately entered the palace of King Indra and his wife Sachidevi, who welcomed them. Krishna then presented Indra with the earring of Aditi. When Krishna and Satyabhama were returning from the capital city of Indra, Satyabhama remembered Krishna's promise to give her a Parijata tree. Taking the opportunity of having come to the heavenly kingdom, she uprooted a Parijata tree and placed it on the back of Garuda. Once Narada had taken a Parijata flower and presented it to Krishna's senior wife, Sri Rukmani Devi. On account of this, Satyabhama had developed an inferiority complex. She also wanted such a flower from Krishna. Krishna could understand the competitive womanly nature of his co-wives, and he had smiled. He had immediately asked Satyabhama, "Why are you asking for only one flower? I would like to give you a whole tree of Parijita flowers."
Very nice. Yeah, Satyabhama was a very Rajasic lady. She was very Kshatriya. She was a very Kshatric person, very fiery. So now she's going to get a lovely tree from the Lord. Okay. Let's finish on with Archana. Archana, did you give me your address?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I can't see it in the chat.
I sent it.
In the chat.
Oh, I did. What happened there?
It's not there. Can anyone see it in their chat?
Maybe mistakenly I didn't click on because I typed full address and
Maybe you thought of the wrong type of chat. Now you're thinking
okay,
of
I'll send it to
chart.
you.
He's thinking of chart now. Probably
I did. Where is it gone?
everyone is in the meeting here. Yeah, I can see.
And
So you have to write it and then click or put the press your arrow with it arrow
I
down.
don't know what happened there. I did, but never mind. I'll do it again, or I can send it to you
Yes.
after.
So actually, Krishna had purposely taken. Okay, go ahead, Nikunjbai.
Actually, Krishna had purposely taken his wife Satyabhama with him so that she could collect the Parijata with her own hand. But the denizens of the heavenly planets, including Indra, were very irritated. Without the permission, Satyabhama had uprooted the Parijata tree, which is not to be found on Earth planet. Indra, along with the other demigods, offered opposition to Krishna and Satyabhama for taking away the tree. But in order to please his favorite wife Satyabhama, Krishna became determined and adamant, so there was a fight between the demigods and Krishna. As usual, Krishna came out victorious and he triumphantly brought the Parijata tree chosen by his wife to this earthly planet, to Dwarka. After this, the tree was installed in the palace garden of Satyabhama. On account of this extraordinary tree, the garden house of Satyabhama became extraordinarily beautiful. As the Parijata tree came down to the earthly planet, the fragrance of its flowers also came down, and the celestial drones migrated to this earth in search of the fragrance and honey.
Very nice. Okay, so that's where we end. And of course, the demigods now, they've got angry, Indra's angry. Now, the demigods, they know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why on earth would they have a fight with him? Why don't they say, well, you're the Malik, you're the boss, you're Bhagawan, everything belongs to you. They're suras. They should know better. Why would the demigods have a fight with Krishna? Who can tell us?
It's all part of his lila, Krishna's lila.
Yes, and
And
yes.
Are they covered by Maya?
Sorry?
They're covered by Maya?
Temporarily covered by Maya. That's a possibility, yes. That's a possibility, yes. Something else, somebody else. Come on. Smita.
Is it because the demigods aren't they're partly human? I mean, so it could be their ego.
Yes. And Namrata and Nikunjbai? Why would the demigods, just not let Krishna take the Parijata? They should know better. Why are they fighting with him? Okay, Jigna knows.
I'm not sure, but is it because they get deluded as well from time to time?
Yes, they get deluded. Archana?
Is that they're not aware of Krishna's abilities or strengths, and they have also
Yes,
have
they
ego.
can be covered. They can be covered from time to time by illusion. But the demigods, you see, they also know that the Lord sometimes wants a good fight. You see? And just like Jai and Vijay, they were the gatekeepers, the Chokidar of Vaikuntha. They know that Krishna, he likes to have a good fight, you see, in the material world with some asura, some demon. And so the demigods, they oblige Krishna. Oh, Krishna, he's taking Parijata. And of course, in this case, he's with Satyabhama. She's a fiery queen. And Krishna, to oblige Krishna, they would make a show. Oh, you've taken this, and they'll perform like a natak, and they'll have a fight with Krishna, and they'll be defeated. But Krishna not necessarily will kill them. It didn't say that Krishna killed them, did it? It didn't go into details like the Mura demon and his sons, how they were killed. Heads are chopped off and their arms are chopped off, and there's a gory, nasty situation there. They were just defeated by the Lord. So sometimes, in this case, the demigods, they will also oblige the Lord to have a good fight. Just like in the story of Banasura, which is another story coming up, which we already read on Shivratri last year. And there was a fight between Lord Shiva and Krishna, and Ganesh was there, and lots of great personalities were there, and demigods. They were having also a big fight together, you see. So that's the purpose. Demigods, they're obliging Krishna, and they are willing to work. Whatever Krishna wants. If you want to fight, they'll fight with Krishna to please the Lord. So in this way, we can understand that devotional service is absolute. It's an absolute. It's not just you got to be nice. Sometimes Krishna wants to have a fight, like Jambavan. Jambavan is a great devotee of Lord Ram, but he wanted to fight. Krishna wanted to fight with him. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone.
We'll see you next Tuesday, and
Okay. Bye.
we will see you. I'll send that Bhagavatam set now on Bhadra Purnima, so that I can go back to Godhead.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Take care, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.